Hi everybody, my name's Toni and I'm here with the Everyday Counts program. We have an hour together for yoga. So gather everything around you that you may need. I'm sitting up on a block, maybe you want to start in a chair. There's no right and wrong way. Maybe your legs are out in front of you or crossed like mine, whatever feels comfortable. There's no right and wrong way of doing this, and anything that it is that I'm guiding you into, then make adjustments and adaptations for your own body. If you need extra softness underneath you, then please take it. If something simply doesn't suit your body or doesn't feel right for you, skip it. If there's another movement that your body is craving, then please go ahead. Learning to listen to yourself is what yoga is all about, rather than listening to me. So wherever you've chosen to be, settle in. Connect downwards to that support underneath you. And when you're ready, take a full breath in. Exhale it out, just letting it all go. Another couple of breaths just like that. And then let the breath settle back to its own natural, easy rhythm. Maybe breathing in and out through your nose if that's comfortable for you today. And if it's not, then your own way is perfect. Connecting downwards. You can even take your fingertips to the earth or the support underneath you if that feels good for you. And then we rise from there. So there's a lifting, an uprising from the through the upper body, through the spine, through the crown of the head, allowing the shoulders to roll softly down and away from the ears and broadening across the collarbones. Deciding for yourself if you need to sit more forward or back for your own comfort. And with that steady breath coming in and out, starting to tune inwards, lowering or softening your gaze, closing your eyes even, and simply asking yourself how you're doing today. What your energy level is like. How your body feels. There's a principle in yoga called ahimsa, which a lot of the time gets translated into non-harming. But consider it to be self-care, being gentle with yourself, compassionate with yourself. So if you move forward into this practice with an awareness to being compassionate with yourself, that means tuning in to yourself and noticing what it is that you need from that moment. And if it's not the shape that you're in, then giving yourself permission to change that shape. Giving yourself permission to adjust things for your needs, your desires, and what it is your body's telling you is benefiting it. And if resting is part of being compassionate to yourself, then please go ahead and do that. Again, the principle of ahimsa is coming to a yoga practice and making sure that nothing that we do in that practice is harmful to ourselves in any way, including our thoughts. So being gentle with yourself, letting judgment go, and seeing if you can be honest with what it is that you need. And if you want to ignore that, then feel free. But I'm going to offer you that awareness to keep coming back to ahimsa and deciding for yourself if there's something you could adjust or change to make things feel just a little bit calmer, a little bit better for you in that moment. And so with our awareness on our breath, I invite you to tune into your breath. Steady out the breath, smooth it out as best as you can, with that awareness to compassion and kindness for yourself. If ever you notice any judgmental inner dialogue coming up, just notice it and then choose differently. With that steady breath, I'm going to simply allow the shoulders to softly roll with the steadiness of your breath, so that the movement is guided by that breath. And then taking those shoulder rolls back in the opposite direction. And then settling back into stillness. I'm going to turn that right palm up, bending from the elbow to start with, inhaling up and exhaling down, keeping that shoulder and upper arm soft. Stay there, or start to move from the shoulder, easy joint, shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers and thumbs. And the option is, with that left hand to support you, is taking that arm up and overhead. Easy joints again, or reaching through those joints. Noticing how that feels, one from the other. Deciding what feels best for you. Ahimsa. And then the option is to take that right arm up and then turn the right shoulder down towards the earth. And then coming all the way back. Also taking the gaze down towards that left knee as you turn the heart down and getting into the back of the right side of the body and through the length of that right side. One more. And again, adjusting things for your body. Next time that right hand touches down, you can keep it there. Left palm turns up from the elbow, inhaling up, exhaling down, keeping that left shoulder nice and soft. And if this feels best for you, stay. Or starting to lift up through that left arm, easy joints. Can stay there or start to reach through those joints a little more if that feels better for you. Keeping that right hand down as support, and take that left arm up and overhead, getting that length through the left side. And this is a great place to stay, always adjusting things for you, ahimsa. Or taking that left arm up and then curling forward over that right knee and exhaling back down. And again, if this does not suit your body, then adjusting things so it feels better for you. We've got one more to go, more or less, unless you're resting. Coming all the way back to center. Any movements you need to make, any ease in your body, go ahead. Then we're going to come over onto hands and knees. Now if you're in a chair or you want to stay with seated cat and cow, please go ahead. Otherwise, coming onto hands and knees. Any softness and support you need underneath you, please take it. Hands spread at least shoulder distance apart. Toes tucked or untucked, your choice. Belly draws in and we push down into the hands to lift the back of the heart. From here, on an inhale, dropping the belly down, lifting the gaze, turning the tailbone up so we've got that arch in the back. And on the exhale, pushing down hands and knees to round the back of the ribs up towards the sky. Inhaling and exhaling, keeping the gaze steady or eyes closed to get that more introspection, figuring out what feels best for you from the inside out. Not concerned about what it looks like, but how it feels. And again, ahimsa. Is there something you can adjust or adapt here for your body to feel a little better? A couple of breaths. Always resting if you prefer, or staying for the last exhale. And coming all the way back to center. And then when you're ready, knees coming towards each other, and we're going to extend out that right leg behind you. And then kick start that left foot out behind you too. Left hand underneath the shoulder, and then the right heel comes to the floor. So the whole of the sole of the right foot is connected downwards. Right fingertips up onto tented fingers. Pad the left knee if you need to. From here, adding on with the steady breath. Inhaling, the right arm comes up towards the sky. Exhaling, pulsing downwards. Inhaling and exhaling. Ahimsa. Is that left knee padded enough? Option to stay here. Option to lift up through the right fingertips and stay. Option 2, sweep that right arm down and round and over the right shoulder, gazing up towards the ceiling, getting that length through the side body. And if you feel stable enough through the left leg and the left hand, option is to lift that right leg up, flexing through the ankle. Inhaling, curling in and reaching through the fingertips, the crown of the head and the sole of the foot. Steady breath here. Ahimsa. Does it feel better to have the foot down or lifted? Got one more breath. And on that exhale, that right foot comes down, right hand to the hip. And then pushing through the left leg, we're coming all the way up into gate pose. So adjust yourself, patting that left knee if you need to, readjusting that left foot behind you. And the right toes all the way down to the earth. Right hand to the right body. Inhaling up through the left arm, we've already been here, and exhaling down. Inhaling and exhaling, keeping this movement flowing, or reaching up, hand behind the head, elbow wide, you've got that length through the whole left side of the body, walking those right fingers downwards to get the length that feels good for you. Back of the skull sitting into the palm of the hand. Got another couple of breaths here. Ahimsa. So do you need to come out a little more? Soften through the shoulder. What is it that you need to do here to honor how you feel? Next inhale, we're coming all the way up. Left hand comes down. Right arm circles, and we're back to hands and knees. Cat and cow. Nicely done. And this time, that left leg steps back. I'm going to curl around to this side so I can see you guys. Left leg steps back, right knee on the earth, and the foot goes out like a kickstand. Pad the right knee if you need to. Left heel turns in, so the toes are turned outwards. Right hand is underneath the right shoulder, and those left fingertips are tented. On the inhale, lifting the fingertips up towards the earth if you're adding, up towards the earth, up towards the sky if you're adding on. Exhale, tapping down. Inhaling and exhaling. This is a fantastic place to stay. If you're adding on, those left fingertips are up towards the sky and staying wide across the collarbones, and we're reaching through the sole of the foot all the way through to the crown of the head. Option here is to swoop that left arm down and over the left ear. Opening up through the collarbones, gazing up towards the ceiling. Excellent place to stay here. Ahimsa. Is there something that needs to change in your body to make it feel better for you? Adding on if you feel stable. Lifting up through that left leg. Flexing the ankle. And we're finding that length through the left side of the body. Ahimsa. 3 breaths. If there's anything you need to do to adjust or change anything to feel better for you, please go ahead. When you're ready, left foot comes down, left hand comes to the left hip. Push through that right elbow and coming all the way up. Readjusting your foundation. If you need extra padding, if you need to change the angle of that right foot behind you. And then when you're comfortable with where you are, left hand to the left side of the body gently. Rooting to rise. We've still got that length through the spine. Option to add on. Inhaling the right arm up. Exhaling down. Excellent place to be right here. Or sweeping that left arm up and over. Finding that length through the whole left side of the body. Option to keep flowing. Option to take that arm up and behind the skull, opening up through the elbow, and we've got length through the spine, through the crown of the head. The crown of the head is reaching into the palm of the hand, the elbow up towards the sky. Those left fingertips maybe walking a little further down towards the left shin. Gate pose. Keep the breath steady. 3 breaths here with the awareness to ahimsa. Is there something you could do here to make it feel easier for you? Keep the breath steady. And when you're ready, coming all the way up, right hand comes down, left arm comes down, we come back to hands and knees. From here, big barrel rolls through the ribs to release any tension, through the side body, and then back in the opposite direction when you're ready. Noticing different areas of tension or tightness. And when you're ready, big toes come towards each other, sitting the hips back towards the heels, supported child's pose, hands and knees, forearms, stacked fists, stacked palms, playing with how wide or close together your knees are, depending on what feels good in your body. And again, ahimsa, what feels really good for you here? Maybe being on your back, hugging your knees in feels better for you. Please make any accommodations that you need to, and then settle into some steady breaths. Allowing the breath to get stable. Stay for as long as feels good to you here. If there's any softness of movement you want to take, please listen to that. And then when you're ready, coming back up, tucking the toes, or if there's another way that you want to come to standing, please go ahead. Otherwise, I will meet you up there. Feet a comfortable distance for coming into mountain pose. Root down through your feet just like when we were seated. Connect down to that support and rise up from there. Palms facing forward. Shoulders soft and the collarbones are wide. And here we are. Come back to that breath. Notice how you feel after the movements you've done so far. Notice how your body feels. Establish that steady breath once more. Hands resting on your hips. Rooting to rise, this is the inhale. On the exhale, we're just going to come over to one side, inhaling up to center and exhaling to the other side. Noticing how that feels. Option to dangle the arms down, inhaling up and over, and down to the other side. Option to stay flowing here, or just like we did when we were seated, lifting up and forward, drawing the back right ribs back, even sending the right ribs to the side as you gaze towards your left foot. Inhaling up to center, exhaling down. Same thing, other side. Left arm drifts up, over, and then curl the heart down as you gaze towards the right fingertips. Those right feet, the right fingertips can reach towards the knee. One more. And coming all the way up through center. Feet coming in towards each other for tree pose. Hands to the hips. Connect downwards through your feet, bending through the right knee. Keeping the hips facing forward, right knee comes out towards the side. Maybe the heel of the right foot comes to the top of the left foot or to the inside of the ankle. Gaze is steady ahead of you. Ahimsa. Stay at a place that feels compassionate to your body. Maybe the foot comes to the inner shin, pushing the right foot into the left shin. Same thing for the upper thigh, just not the knee joint. Hips facing forward. Hands on the hips or at heart center. Or you can take some support from a wall or a chair. Option to stay here. Option to send the arms out. First finger and thumbs towards each other or palms together above you. Elbows bent, or towards straight, whatever feels good. You've got 3 breaths wherever you are. Ahimsa. Notice the inner dialogue, compassionate inner dialogue. The end of the exhale, the hands come to the hips, and we're coming all the way down, releasing any tension as you need to. Feet come in towards each other once more, to the other side. Steady the breath, let go of any stories of what happened on the other side. Work down through the right foot, lift the left knee or left heel, bend the knee. Keeping the hips facing forward, the knee comes out towards the side. The sole of the foot to the inner ankle or on top of that right foot, connecting downwards, rooting to rise. Ahimsa. Fix your gaze. Option to take that left foot to the inner shin, connecting inwards. Or option to take the foot to the upper leg, same thing here. Same thing. The foot comes to the inner thigh, and the inner thigh pushes back for that connection. We rise from there. Hands to hips, hands to heart. First finger and thumbs towards each other. Palms together above the head, elbows bent or towards straight. Your choice. Notice what feels good in your body and take your body there. 3 breaths. Ahimsa. Keep the breath steady, the gaze steady, the inner dialogue compassionate. 1 breath. The end of the exhale, hands come to the hips, and we release the leg. Any softness, intuitive movement to release any tension, and then we come back to mountain pose. Readjust yourself. Tune inwards and notice how much you're listening to what it is your body needs today. Hands come to the hips, and we're coming to the front of the mat when you're ready. Coming into Warrior 2. So we've done quite a lot of external rotation today, rooting down through the left foot, lifting the right heel. And when you're ready, we're stepping back with that right leg. Right foot is off towards the right side of the mat, and the heel is back, about 10 or 15 degrees-ish. It really doesn't matter. Depends what feels good for you. Left foot is facing forward, bending and straightening into that left leg. And that may mean that you adjust your whole foundation. Again, ahimsa, what feels good to you. With that foot slightly turned in, we've got a slight internal rotation of the right hip, which means that the pelvis finds it a whole lot easier to be in this position, as opposed to having that foot out neutrally. And then we're rolling the right shoulder back. So we're facing the right side of the mat fully. Hands to the hips, great place to be. Straightening and bending. Option to stay here, adding on the arms. We inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, take them down, shoulder height. You can even gaze over those left fingertips. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Great place to be. If you want to add on that inhale, exalted warrior. So we're taking that arm up and overhead. We've been here a few times today. Exhaling, warrior 2. Nicely done. If you want to add on, we're coming down into Warrior Two. Settling down into that bent leg. Warrior Two arms. Gazing over those left fingertips. Option to stay here. Settling into that stillness, rooting down, equal distribution of weight through both feet. If you want to add on, reaching forward with those left fingertips, hand to thigh or elbow to thigh, opening up through the shoulder. We've already been here. Option to stay here, option to sweep the right arm up and overhead, coming into side angle. Equal distribution through both feet, pushing deeply into the back right leg. And the last option is sweeping that right arm up and overhead, finding that length. Ahimsa. Is there something you can change here or soften or adjust for your body? 3 breaths. Last breath here. Then on the inhale, up we come, Warrior Two, straightening through the front leg, hands to hips. Coming to the other side. Turning those left toes in, the right toes out, and rearranging yourself on your mat so the left toes are over now towards the front of the mat. Heel turned back. Bending and straightening through that right leg. Nicely done. And then from here, opening up through that left elbow. So we really are facing the long edge of the mat. Adding on with arms. Inhaling, sweeping up. Exhaling, Warrior Two arms. Maybe even glancing over those right fingertips. Inhaling and exhaling. Option to exalt the warrior. Inhaling, exhaling back to Warrior Two. Keeping the breath going. Ahimsa. Is there something you need to do to change things, to feel better? Option to stay flowing. Option to stay full Warrior Two. Bend through the right knee. Equal distribution of weight through both feet. If you want to add on, coming into side angle. Keeping that bend through the front knee, reaching forward, hand to that thigh or forearm, palm turned up. Open through the shoulders. You've got that length through the side body. Great place to be, back of the skull coming back. Option to sweep the left arm up and overhead for extended warrior, extended side angle. Ahimsa. Letting your judgments go and feeling into your body and what it needs. Deciding for yourself if there's something you can adjust for things to feel better and easier. Last breath. And when you're ready, coming back to Warrior Two, straightening through the front leg, hands to hips, and heel toeing, or jumping those feet in towards each other. Mountain pose. Maybe hand to belly, hand to heart. Take a breath in. Exhaling it out. Softening the gaze or lowering the gaze. And tuning in. Ahimsa. Noticing if you pushed yourself past that place of compassion, or if you were exactly where you needed to be. Stay here tuning into yourself. And when you're ready, we'll come down to the earth and I'll meet you there. Connecting downwards, and we'll come all the way to our back. So gathering everything around you that you may need for shavasana or relaxation at the end. And then we'll come all the way down. Knees to the sky, feet to the floor. Any extra support that you may need underneath you, please take it. Folded blankets under the head, maybe a folded blanket, or firm, extra firmness underneath you. Take what it is that you need. Feet are a comfortable distance here. And the knees are also the same distance. Robot arms. So triceps coming down into the earth, more or less close to your ribs, fingertips up towards the sky. From here, pushing into your feet evenly. On an inhale, hovering the hips, and on an exhale, taking them down. So you're using your triceps, your shoulders, and your feet here evenly. Inhaling and exhaling. This is not about height. This is about getting comfortable with that sensation of pushing through the feet, triceps, and shoulders, to get the hips elevated. Making sure that the knees are neither coming in or out as the hips lift. Option to stay here, pulsing up and down. Option to lift the hips and stay. And from here, maybe the hips come up a little higher. Notice what's happening with your feet, even distribution through the feet, the heels, the balls of the feet, the toes. Your knees are neither splaying out nor coming in. Taking some steady breaths here, ahimsa. Making sure the breath is smooth, that the body feels that it's sustainable here. And then when you're ready, at the end of an exhale, we'll take the hips down towards the floor. Heels come apart, knees come in. Just take the hand to the belly. Hands to the belly, and just breathe in and out, letting the nervous system settle. And then when you're ready, we'll do that again. Feet, hip distance or comfortable distance, robot arms. On one of your inhales, lifting up through the hips, exhaling, coming down. Option to keep pulsing, option to take the hips up and stay, pushing down through the triceps into the earth. Or the option is to take the hands underneath your pelvis, interlace the hands, and then shimmy one shoulder and then another underneath you as much as it's comfortable. Pinky fingers reaching into the mat to get that stability. Knees are neither coming out nor in, they're stable, and your feet are stable too. Breath is steady. Ahimsa. Is this sustainable with your energy? Does your body feel good here? Is your breath comfortable? Is your mind racing? Got another few breaths here, always coming down early if you prefer. And then at the last Exhale, we release any binds from the hands, sending the hips down and giving yourself a hug. Rocking and rolling from side to side, noticing how that feels. Right foot is down on the floor as the left knee draws in. Give yourself a little hug. A flex in that ankle, left hand to left knee, and the right arm is out to the side. Drawing the left knee up towards the sky, starting to draw circles. Option to stay here, option to extend that right leg long with a flex in that ankle too. Circles through the knees in the air, and of course this is really moving through the hips. Option, if you don't feel you need the hand on your knee, to release the left arm too. Slow circles here. And then when you're ready, we'll take a pause and take that round in the opposite direction. Ahimsa. Noticing how that feels. And again, only as much or as little as feels good to you. And now we've got some range of motion there. Coming back to stillness and taking that left foot up towards the sky. Now you can have that towards straight, you can have a nice bend in it, whatever feels good to you. If you release the ankle, that will feel easier down the back of the leg, a little flex in that ankle is going to wake up more the back of that leg. Bend the right knee again, foot to the floor for support. This is the inhale. On the exhale, heel comes down towards the earth, inhaling up. Inhaling and exhaling. Keeping the breath steady. Ahimsa. And then when you're ready, draw that left knee in, give it a little hug, and then the foot comes down to the earth. Right knee draws in, hand to the knee. Left arm is out towards the side, either down by your hips or the T or the cactus. Option to stay here with the left leg or extend it out. Flex through both ankles, and then we're circling through the knee on the right side, and of course this is really the movement through the hip. If you don't need the support of the right arm or the right hand, then you can release that right arm as well, giving you a little bit more stability in the upper body. Keep the movement as fluid as you can. Take rests when you need to. And then when you're ready, we'll pause and take that round in the opposite direction. Always listening compassionately to what it is your body needs, what your energy levels are like. You're in a dialogue, being kind, being open to adjusting things if you need to feel better for you. And then when you're ready, we'll draw that knee in, give it a little hug. Left foot comes to the floor, knee bent. And when you're ready, same as the other side. We inhale, we extend the right leg up towards the sky. Now a nice bend in that leg or some straightness. Soft ankle will be a little easier. Flexed ankle, we start to wake up the back of the right leg. This is the inhale. On the exhale, taking that heel down as far as you like towards the earth. It never really touches though. Starting to just add into a little strength into the hip after that awakening of the range of motion. keeping the breath steady and smooth. And then the next time that foot comes up, we'll give it a little hug. Both knees draw in here, rocking, rolling a little from side to side. And then we'll take both arms and legs up towards the sky. And allow a soft, gentle rolling of the ankles and wrists. And then back in the opposite direction. Keeping some stillness there. And again, if there's any other movement you wish to take, go ahead. If you wish a soft twist, allowing the feet to go wide, just like we did earlier, washing the knees a little bit from side to side. Keeping the back of the pelvis firmly on the earth. Or if it feels good to you and you have no SI joint issues, as the knees come to one side, the opposite hip can lift. Keeping in movement or staying for a few breaths on one side. And then staying for a few breaths on the other side, depending on what feels good to you. Again, ahimsa, what it is that you need and your body needs from your practice before relaxation. And then when you're ready, coming up to stillness. And then extending into your relaxation in your own way. Settling in, settling down, and as you do that, maybe adding an extra layer, an eye pillow, anything you need for your comfort. And connecting down into that support underneath you. Allowing yourself the gift of letting go. Imagine, as you close your eyes, if you haven't already, that you're lying in the softest of clouds, and it's fully supporting you. And start to notice how your body responds to your breath here. The inhale, there's a lifting of the chest, of the belly. And the exhale, a softening. As your whole body responds to your breath as it comes and goes. Imagine that you're supported in the bluest of skies, on the firmest and most fluffiest white cloud, just suspended there on a perfect day. And if you want to, that cloud can be just a centimeter above the earth itself or high up in the sky. And you're surrounded by that beautiful blue. It's one of those days where it feels like you don't have a care in the world. Resting on your cloud as the body lifts softly on the inhale and lowers softly on the exhale. Imagine on that inhale the cloud lifting just a centimeter. As you inhale, lifting up through your chest, your belly, your whole body, And on the exhale, the cloud softens as you release the air 1 centimeter. And that soft cloud underneath you rising with your inhale, just a centimeter, and on the exhale, lowering just a centimeter, ebbing and flowing with your breath as it comes and goes. Getting lost in the ebb and flow, the lifting and lowering. And on that exhale, start to release any judgments of self or others, any inner dialogue which is unkind. As if with that lowering of the cloud, with the exhale of your breath, you could simply let those thoughts and judgments go. And if any thoughts come up that are not compassionate, let them go on those exhales. No matter how many times things arise, just breathe it out as you are fully suspended on your floating cloud, lifting and lowering with your breath. And anything else you want to get rid of too, anything from the past. Any judgments of self or others. Breathe it out, let it go. You no longer need to hold that in your body, in your mind, in your emotions. And you can stay here for as long as is needed, releasing things on that exhale. And if that's the case, let my words simply wash over you. Stay for as long as you wish. Otherwise, imagine that cloud dissolving as you start to feel the support underneath you from where you are right in this very moment. Feel your body from the crown of your head to the tip of your fingers and toes. Aware of it all. Starting to take a little deeper, mindful breath into your body, watching it fill. And on the exhale, releasing, relaxing. Allowing gentle, organic movement to wash into your body in its own way. And maybe you don't need movement, maybe you want to stay exactly as you are. And then over the next few breaths, allow that movement to guide you to where you want to finish your practice today. rooting down to rise from there. Ahimsa. Being gentle and compassionate with your lovely self, moment to moment. It is a practice. Noticing when things arise that are unkind, and not judging yourself for that, but just choosing to be a little bit kinder, a little bit more compassionate, moment to moment, as you become aware of it. Bringing your hands into a gesture which suits you today, whatever that means. Taking a breath in, and on an exhale, drawing your chin towards your chest, lowering your gaze or closing your eyes. Ahimsa. Taking this offering into your day, your week ahead. Thank you for practicing from my heart to yours. Namaste.